All right, guys, good morning. It's me, Coach Gonzo, guys, Tommy Martial Arts on the Daily What's Up. Actually, a little bit of a recap. Wanted to comment to you guys. Trying to do a couple little things, guys, so excuse the kind of wandering and panning around my house as I move through it, but I just wanted to share a couple things with you guys really quick that was kind of going on, and just kind of recap the week and recap a little bit of what happened over the weekend. So really quick, guys, when I'm putting on my watch. So first things first, guys, congratulations everybody that did an amazing job on their belt promotions and awards and whatnot. For those of you guys that couldn't make it, sorry that you guys couldn't be there. Hope you guys can make the next event. But it was a good time, guys. It was a really good time. And so really interesting. I appreciate all of you guys that took pictures and posted those pictures and all that good stuff. If you will go to our Facebook page, guys, that we have, our social media outlets, any one of them, you should be seeing kind of random pictures, and definitely those of you guys that are part of our group, our organization, if you'll go check our private group, guys, then you're going to find it in the Facebook private group. So you should find a ton of pictures there. My wife did a great job, so thank you. Shout out to my wife for always doing her best to try to capture, document all of these really cool events that we have at the school. But anyway, so yeah, that was all yesterday, guys. So it was really kind of cool. Got a chance to do all that good stuff. It was a lot of fun. Try to remind everybody of some of the things that are going to be happening this coming week, as far as what those things are. Let's see here. What are they? Oh, yes. We have our back to school, not back to school, I'm sorry, our next buddy event. Oops, I think I'm getting some really bad lighting here. Let me switch it around. All right. Yeah, that's better. All right, so we've got some buddy week concepts and events going on this whole week, guys. So hopefully everybody was able to grab a pass, a VIP pass for their guests. If you didn't get a chance to, or if you're not a member of the school, by the way, and you're watching this, feel free to go ahead and register. I'm going to try to provide a link somewhere in the comments, either down below or whatever. Feel free to click on it, guys. Come check out our school. The proof is in the pudding. Definitely give us a try. I think you'll enjoy it. We've got stand-up martial arts. We've got jiu-jitsu. We've got a lot of fun things that we do. So anyway, feel free to register, take a free class, maybe take a couple free classes this week. I think you'll enjoy them. At least I hope you'll enjoy them. But anyway, for those of you guys that are members, same kind of concept. If you weren't able to pick up the passes, feel free to grab a few passes. You can do that this week still, or this coming week, I should say. Get them out to your friends. And like I said, we're going to be doing that this whole entire week, Monday through Friday, I believe. With that being said, at the end of the week, guys, there's two big things that I do need to draw attention to. I had forgotten to do this until the latter half of last week, but the 15th, guys, is actually, I thought we were going to have classes early that morning, but I totally spaced the fact that we have some of our competitors that are going to be doing a competition, guys, that morning for karate, and so we won't be having the morning jiu-jitsu classes. Again, we will not be having those classes, as I'll be coaching my guys, hopefully as they get their way back to that medal stand, if you will, to get that first, second, third place area. Beyond that, guys, after that's all said and done, later on that evening, we are going to be having our next Parents Night Out event. This one's going to be dodgeball, guys, so I'm pretty excited. Dodgeball is always great. It's classic. 3 hours as usual, guys, 6 to 9, guys. The usual is going to be happening. We're going to have, obviously, goodies for the kids, lots of games, movies, all that fun stuff. And as always, too, if you have a child with special eating considerations, please send them with whatever eating stuff that they're going to need to have. Beyond that, let's see here. I wanted to take a few minutes, guys, and let me see if I can prop this up a little bit and just kind of share some things with you guys yesterday, because this is one of those things that I talk about. Well, I'm talking to you guys, excuse me, I haven't put it on my belt, but I'll get back into view here really quick. But yesterday, it was a really interesting thing that happened, guys. I was getting ready for classes, and I'd gotten to the school a little bit early, and so some of you guys know, right at the end of our little strip center there's a coffee shop. A little shout out for Bagel Stop here in Parker, Colorado, guys. Anyway, so I got there, and I went and I checked out one of our kind of our little ballot boxes, our lead generation boxes, which the owner there has been so kind. Steve, thank you very much to allow me to place that stuff there. So I was sitting there and waiting on a cup of coffee that Steve was actually making for me at the time, and I overhear somebody say something about jiu-jitsu, and of course I'm decked out in my gear, right? I got my shirts, everything, the tags, what I do. And a young man, it was interesting, said something about jujitsu, so it was really kind of cool. As I turned around, he kind of looked at me. He saw my logo. I was obviously in my jujitsu pants as well, because, like I said, we're just a few doors down. And so asked me a really interesting question. Obviously, he's like, "So what do you do jujitsu?" And I said, "Oh man, my place is right down the road here, or excuse me, right down the edge of the building here." And I gotta tell you guys, his response was interesting. It was interesting enough that it rubbed me in a couple of interesting directions, mainly negative directions. I gotta be honest with you. So the young man stands there and he's got his arms crossed like this, right? And so he kind of looks over at me and he goes, "Oh." And I don't know if it was just his posturing. I don't know if his mind was somewhere else. I don't know if my mind was in the right spot. But after 24 hours to think about it, sit about it, obviously I'm sharing this with you guys because it was an interesting experience. I'm glad that I'm in my mid-40s, guys, because the guy 20 years ago, probably would have taken a course of action that would have gotten me in trouble. But it was interesting because I tried to share the conversation. I tried to maintain a little bit of a conversation with the guy, and turns out he actually trains jiu-jitsu as well, and he trains jiu-jitsu with a gentleman, I think just literally like a block, maybe 2 blocks away. Good school, you know, right? Jiu-jitsu for the win, obviously, man. Whether you train with us or you train with anybody else, I'm just glad you're training. It's good for you. Jiu-jitsu is a life-changing kind of a thing, so I hope he enjoys that. But I just thought it was interesting and sad at the same time that sometimes what we give off, either through our body posturing or whatever, can be mistaken by a lot of different people. And like I said, I'm relatively calm, but it frustrated me to an extent, the eye rolling and the oh kind of a mentality. But the thing that brought clarity to me this morning, and the thing that I wanted to share, was kind of where I started, and I kind of alluded to at the beginning of this take. You know, our daily what's up, right? So I was going through everything, right, getting my business stuff done, because, you know, if you're a business owner, you know this, man. It never quits, man. You're always working. You're always doing stuff. As you can see, I got my backpack in the background. I got to do some. I got to help my wife out and get some little stuff done at the house, vacuum a little bit, help out. You know, be a good partner in life. But I was so bothered by it that I didn't take the time to realize some of the amazing posts that some of our parents and stuff were putting out there, you know. And as I was rereading everything this morning, I reread a post because this post was getting like some hits and stuff on it, and so I read it again. Now, mind you, I read it yesterday, but I was so in a different state of mind. I allowed myself to be pulled into a different state of mind that I didn't realize just how kind, just how awesome the statement was, and just how truly grateful this family was for what we do for them. And then it hit me, you know. Who cares what this one guy, this young man who is sitting there and is posturing, cares or doesn't care? You know, I know how I feel. I know what I do. I know that I feel like probably he does, that he is part of the best team in the world, and you know, good for him. But more importantly is, I think, what our members think of us, you know. And obviously these parents are very happy with the location that they found for their child, and the confidence that their child is building, and all that amazing things that they see happening in their child's life. And so I wanted to take a little bit of time to just tell you guys, sometimes, remember, don't take life too seriously. There's a lot of things you got to work for, you got to hustle for, you got to get after, you know, and it's important that you do that. But, you know, you got to look at the bigger picture, and you got to realize it takes time. It takes a lot of time to be successful. It takes a lot of time to be at the place that you want to be. And then I did want to leave you with a concept. You know, some of you guys know I've been rereading my library, mainly because of a couple people that I follow, 2 people that I follow all the time, guys. Or recently, I shouldn't say all the time, but recently, and I say recently within the last year, I was coming across some social stuff, and I came across a guy named Tai Lopez. Tai Lopez is really kind of got me motivated to start rereading my entire library. This is the one I'm currently rereading right now, guys, which is the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And then the other guy I follow or like to listen to and watch is Gary Vee. And both of these guys, if you're you know, active, at least in the podcast world, YouTube world, and improvement, if you will, world, you've heard of these guys. But the cool thing about this book, and that I wanted to share with you, and that again I had to kind of be reminded of, is that it's not, or at least from this book, right? It's not what happens to you. It's what you it's what you allow to happen, or what you do with what's happened to you, right? And so I'm paraphrasing and I'm butchering it really bad, but see, the idea that response is what happened wasn't any big deal. The main idea, and the thing that I think is comical now, and I'm sharing it with you now, is because it wasn't what happened yesterday. It was the fact that I allowed it to take 24 hours before I realized that what I do is important to people. It's awesome to people, and I have moms and dads that love what I do, and I'm changing the lives of children, and I couldn't do that if it hadn't have been given to me first, you know. If it hadn't been for great teachers, great parents that sacrifice things, and of course good hard work on my end, because I gotta tell you, there were a lot of guys that were a hell of a lot better than I were, but either the payoff wasn't what they needed it to be when they needed it to be, or they weren't willing to work hard enough, and I was. So there you go. Pretty simple, guys. That's the daily. What's going up? Quick reminders. Don't forget, we have Buddy Week coming up this week, guys. We've got a tournament that my karate guys are going to be competing at next Saturday, and so we're going to be there supporting them, so there won't be any morning classes at the facility. And then later that night, guys, we are going to have our Parents Night Out event. And other than that, guys, enjoy your day. Don't let anybody take you to a place that you don't want to be. Remember, man, it's not what happens to you, it's what you choose to do with what happens to you. So for those of you guys that are my students and whatnot, my friends, my peers, my mentors, everything else, it's some advice that I'm glad I've been reminded of, and I'm glad that I'm out of my little funk. And for all of you guys, like I said, that believe in us, guys, thank you very much. I appreciate you more than you can imagine. So thank you so much, guys. Have a beautiful day. I'm gonna finish getting ready, and then I'm gonna take a walk really quick and go get me some amazing coffee. And so anyway, have a great day, guys. Take care.